Hey guys, welcome back. Flawless Exotic Creations. Will here. This is the Get Established series, episode 19. Very excited for that. Where we help new breeders, new keepers, aspiring breeders, people who don't even have their first snake yet, and are kind of just thinking about breeding or keeping, all the way up to the experienced breeder, grow, I guess, smarter in the ball python hobby as a whole. When it comes to decision making, that's what this series is all about. So be prepared. In this specific episode, we've been getting asked about making more and more content, so we come with more and more content for you guys. We will also ask for longer content. We want to make sure that our CTR is good, which is our click-through rate for all our content that we're putting out, where it best fits the viewer. And stay prepared for this episode. We're gonna make it real fun. This is gonna be a longer episode than what we normally do because we're gonna stage it in this one, right? So just prepare, go ahead and start cleaning some tubs, listen in, later on in the segment, you can listen and probably watch as well. If you're busy and you got to get things done or get things accomplished when life is really lifing. So we completely understand. So prepare. This episode here is going to be a longer than normal episode, and it's going to come in stages. Today we're going to be answering a question, an awesome question, honestly, from one of our channel members here on YouTube, Cold Fusion. He asked, basically, is it ever too late to buy into a gene or a project? This is something that every ball python breeder, new or veteran, faces. So let's dive into it. So I'm gonna actually read it verbatim for you guys so I don't miss out on anything. I'm growing slowly, carefully choosing animals that fit my current goals, but I can't help eyeing all the other genes I want so badly, but don't currently have time, money, or space for. They're moving along and I'm feeling massive fear of missing out. So here's the thing, guys, right? More than just Cold Fusion is going through that. We experience that as well, but we always kind of reassure ourselves because in this hobby, it's supposed to be fun. So genuinely, you got to figure out a way you can manage your grind as well as your passion, as well as enjoying the journey, the actual how to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to go out there and get after. That being said, these genes are going to be the genes. People are going to work with what they're going to choose to work with. There is no way, or we would never choose to be kind of the face of a gene or the movement of a gene. All we want to do is kind of get our hands on that gene if we really want it, and figure out a way for us to be able to produce hopefully what we're looking to get out of that gene. The enjoyment, the pleasure. The discovery of, hey, did you see what this does with this? Nobody else had done this, and now you may have done that, or we may have done that. With 300 plus genes out there on the market, there's always a way to be creative. Sometimes you don't have to be creative. Maybe you just have to be determined. Maybe you saw something in a combo that someone else did, and you want to replicate that combination and get the best bang on a budget. That means that, guess what? That $10,000, $5,000 combination of that snake, maybe you're wanting to create that, but at the same time, you fully understand that you're not going to garner or basically get $5,000 or $10,000 for that combination. Maybe by the time you make it 4, 5, 10 years later, the revenue side of that, to actual, monetary benefit of that, may be $1,000, maybe $500. Maybe you don't care because you already had the ingredients to make said combo in your collection, and through your strategic pairing and breeding, you accomplished said goal in 10 years and never had to add any new snakes or new purchases to your combinations. All of these are different variables that you need to look at in this equation as far as trying to get established in the hobby. So let's face it, the ball python world is constantly evolving every year there's new combinations, new genes, new possibilities, new capabilities with old genes to be added into new genes. There's just one huge old puzzle where you don't even know what the end of the puzzle picture should be looking like. To me, that actually brings me joy. I don't know why. It just brings me joy to know that I can go way back and go grab Hidden Gene Wama, do some funky pairings with it, and it's going to be hit or miss to my personal approval of what we hit, but maybe some of the things I don't like, somebody else may like. Now, you can basically create a customer base for something that you are not going to use any longer in your collection anyway. You can basically take that approach with any gene that's out there, so there should really honestly be no fear. Now, to hit harder on the general feeling of the fear of missing out, right, on a gene, every breeder feels it. Every single breeder feels it, especially when they see others jumping into hot projects, but chasing every gene spreads you really, really thin, so you really can't give your all to that one thing. It's like what they say, jack of all trades, ace of none. I believe that's how it goes. And not saying that you're trying to be perfect and be, again, the person driving that boat on a specific gene, but you also don't want to kind of spread yourself so thin where your goals never come to fruition. You never see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then you experience what we went over a few weeks ago about feeling burnout, right? So you need to figure out a way that you can work with every gene that you want, but also don't spread yourself so thin where you actually can see the progress you're making every season. So what that boils down to is focus matters, right? Carefully building your collection, which means you'll have a stronger, more consistent vision long term. Long term, maybe 5 years. Long term, maybe 10 years. It all depends on you, the individual, as well as the projects that you're working. So here's some generic advice, but maybe you are the actual breeder or keeper that genuinely needs to hear it. You're going to want to stick to your budget. Stick to your budget. Can't say that enough. You also want to stick to your long-term goals and understand that a lot of mini milestones, mini wins can help you achieve your long-term goal. Make sure you don't alter that long-term goal by watching what other people are doing. As long as you're not doing anything that's detrimental to your animals in your care, because they're living and breathing creatures. Ultimately, you want to chase your own goal because that will keep your passion level on a really, really big high. And you won't go through as many ups and downs emotionally as we miss on those odds, as you guys already know. And to reiterate just even more, you have to remember what's hot today, guys, is not going to be hot tomorrow. Tomorrow, what's hot today is going to be old news. It just is what it is. We've consistently watched that happen over and over and over again, and we're only 3 years in and we still see it happening. For us, it just kind of tells us stay on our path, keep the main thing, and keep an open mind and learn and observe what's going on with other people's projects. Maybe you may have something where you can kind of tweak or adjust, but as far as changing the focus point every single time, somebody drops some insane combination, we have to refuse to go that route. We can't let our minds or our vision kind of teeter off path. And another thing you want to do, and again, we're going to really, really dive in after this. This is something that you need to understand, especially, whether you're new or you're experienced. You can look at it, through our videos. We've been dropping for a while now, over 2 years in video content here. So definitely go down and binge watch some of that. You can see the journey. We've had awesome success in the last 2 seasons as far as moving some snakes out and things of that sort, if that's something you kind of want to venture off on the actual business side of things. But you have to remember that, just because some combo hits or whatever, and it's $5,000, $2,000, $3,000, whatever the prices is, you can still buy into that project later. And not only could you buy into that project later, you could probably buy into that project later at a better bang for your buck with even more legs to that project. Maybe additional combo, additional gene that maybe you wanted to see interact in that project is now available for you to go out and snag and add to your collection. So it's never too late to build in anything. If you thought that all the way through, nobody really would be in the industry in this present day if it was generally a time frame of being too late. I don't care if it's pied, I don't care if it's clown, I don't care what the gene combination may be. There's always going to be a pathway to success, whatever success looks like for you, whether that means hitting that crazy combo or selling or whatever it may be. We're not trying to make this video about that. We just want you to understand that we need you to be a part of the community. We need you for there to even be a community. And what I mean by you, the you definition here is the experienced breeders, the 20-year vets, the new breeders, the new keepers, the pet keeper. We need everyone to be a part of this community in order for it to continue to be successful. All right, now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. All right, now we're going to dig through some current listings to kind of match everything I just laid out for you guys that's currently viewing. And this is going to be tailored toward more of the intermediate breeder, all the way down to the keeper, even before then, the person that's pondering on whether they even want to buy a ball python, whether you even want to breed a ball python. This is to give you real life vision right before your eyes right now on how you can come in and, let's say, get your footing underneath you in a good way. And this can show you, in real life that it's never too late. So we're going to use the gene clown, okay? And we use clown because that is, for the most part, the majority's kind of favorite. The reason it's a great example for this video is because since that gene, that recessive gene, is such an eye-opening kind of draw for the masses, that also means that it kind of brings in more of a flooding of people who want to work with it. If you have more people working with a specific gene or combination of genes, then you're more apt to have, more than enough availability out there on the market where it feels flooded and overwhelmed and very hard to kind of set yourself apart from the rest, if that makes sense. So if you ever have something available, it kind of just blends in with everything else, which makes it harder for your customer at that time to find you. Again, we're not going to make this about social media content and being present and trying to find different avenues. We're just going to really stick to the nuts and bolts of this video. And clowns have been around forever. How can we make it a little bit interesting for the new keeper who comes in and they love clown? We're gonna, for the sake of this discussion on this video, we're taking all of our feelings out of the actual gene itself. We're going to look at availability, supply and demand, and how can you situate yourself here in 2025, September 2025. So again, these snakes that I'm going to bring up on screen, they're all available right now. So if you're sitting at home, I'm not telling you to go take out any loans or do anything, but I'm going to post them up on a camera on your screen and let you guys see. If this was me and I was getting into clown and I had nothing, this is the route we would take here at Flawless. So let's dig in. First up, we're also going to give some shout outs to the actual breeders, the people behind these snakes, because again, even though you're here at Flawless, we want to be the example. We want to show you guys that it's not all about flawless, and that we legitimately want to be the glue that brings the community together as a whole. So first up, we're always, for us, we love choosing our males first. We love choosing our males first this late in the game. If this was, back in my homie Limey days, which he's a dinosaur, yes, we probably will go with the females first and do different things. But this present day, we're going with the males first. And we would do, basically, this is going to be a 1.3 setup for under $4,000. All right, so 4 key snakes. Build your collection under $4,000 should garner you a hefty return on just your available animals well within 4 to 5 years. I mean, healthy return. So the male we went with was produced by Conduit Constrictors. The male, as you guys see, is a stranger, red stripe, yellow belly clown. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful male. Sorry guys, I couldn't take my feelings out of the choice of the male. I love stranger. I also wanted to pick stranger because stranger is also one of them genes that a lot of people have a lot of talk about, has lost a lot of value in the community as a whole. And honestly, I mean, we're coming from a place where our first stranger we bought, we paid a lot of money, thousands and thousands of dollars for it, and it turned around and it died on us. We had to buy another one. Again, returning, spending thousands and thousands of dollars for. And here in year 3, off of just that project, we've more than made our money back, as well as losing that first animal. So that being said, that's the male that we would go with for this scenario, and being under $4,000 and trying to keep the amount of snakes low, because we have to pay attention and be mindful that you have to feed your animals as well, and that you don't have a facility. This is just something very home-based, very hobby setup, and trying to set yourself up to produce something phenomenal. So on the female side, we went with 3 females, okay? The females are not as crazy, but it's very specific females of what's available right now that will set you up for success in this combination. So the first female on deck will be an acid clown. This acid clown is $850, and it was produced by Speed's Morphs. Great example of the acid gene. We're working with it as well, and I love the acid stranger combination. If you do research on the outside of this video, you can see that not very many stranger acid clowns have been hit. You throw into the mix as well as being potentially the first person to try, or you're going to be amongst the first people to hit the stranger red stripe yellow belly acid clown. I mean, that's phenomenal. I couldn't think of even trying to sell that animal because that would be on my holdback list. But that is the potential there. Obviously, anything that you would hit with that female, everything is going to be clown. So it's just a combination of the odds on what you're going to hit, male or female, as well as what combination of those genes. And almost all the combinations of those genes are going to be phenomenal. If you can hit a red stripe yellow belly acid clown, killer. If you can hit that stranger red stripe yellow belly clown, killer. So you definitely are in uncharted territory over there with that female, and I think that that female, as simple as that may be, can set you up for success. Leads us into female number 2. Female number 2 is going to be a hurricane yellow belly fire clown. Okay, now that female is $1,000. You guys have heard what I said previously in other videos, where personally we would never aim to hit yellow belly to yellow belly. Now in this scenario, being a newer keeper, getting into the ball python industry and hobby, I would not stay clear of this pairing. I would actually pursue that pairing because you're definitely guaranteed that everything is going to be clown in there, even if you are to hit an ivory. Chances are, out of just that female, you're probably not going to hit 6 out of 6 ivories. It's just one of those situations where those pairings and what you're getting out of that is going to be a high amount of yellow belly in that pairing, where probably almost all the clutch will probably have yellow belly, at least a single copy there. But if you are hit with the double copy, it just kind of is what it is. That's one of your 3 females. And again, 2 years down the road, I will be shed testing and doing different things to figure out what you're going to keep to move you forward, and what your combination there you were really going after. Because me, what I will be going after, which again, if you do a search here on Morph Market, you can see, hey, where are you finding a hurricane stranger red stripe yellow belly clown? Nowhere. where, you know, maybe add fire in the mix as well. You know, maybe you miss on the hurricane and you hit all of those genes with fire on that side. It's just a really cool combination where we like here at Flawless all those genes in the mix, and you have really a high chance of hitting some home run combinations there. Leads us into the third snake. The third female that you would pick up in this scenario would be a blackhead, yet again yellow belly, clown, 100% het for pie. Now that opens you up to a few more options. Again, hitting that red stripe, stranger, blackhead, clown has to be phenomenal. You're probably going to get yellow belly into the mix. You're facing yellow belly to yellow belly yet again. But like I said before, I would take the chances being a small level breeder, something you're doing as a hobby, something where, hey, if you do hit some ivories, you can test them because you're not ending up with 20 ivories that are all clown and got some other possible genes floating in the mix there. You're kind of setting yourself up for success because you have a smaller collection and you can take those chances because chances are you're going to hit some home runs with those genes at play. Not only that, that one female with the blackhead at the end, this girl, she's going to also give you basically a 50-50 odds on every single snake that she produces that it can be het for pie, which opens up different avenues for the clown pie project. You know, you later on down the road, here it is, you have visual clowns. Everything is visual clowns in that clutch, and the whole clutch is 50% het for pie. So you're going to want to definitely test it for pie. But even 2 years from now, those are going to be very highly sought after combinations on males and female side for you to have a stranger, red stripe, yellow belly, blackhead, clown that you tested that's 100% het for pie. That's going to be a phenomenal combo, not only for you to hold back, but if you hit a couple of them, you can end up making a lot of revenue back if you turn around and sell and maybe use those funds to kind of finance rodents feeding your collection, or to basically buy your next combination that kind of caught your eye if you saw something along the way that was kind of mind-blowing for your collection. Doing things this way and kind of giving you a visual, nothing is perfect, so you're going to have different variables and different obstacles. This is, you know, something we just did on the fly after getting that question from Isaac over at Cold Fusion, so we really appreciate you for that. But again, it made me think about what direction I would go in if we were getting into it right now today. So hopefully this can kind of reassure you that it's never too late to get into the ball pythons. It's never too late to get into any reptiles. But for the sake of discussion, basically you need to understand that you have a community here that supports you. But also we have to have a community that holds us all accountable of our decisions. If you hatch something out, understand that if that does not sell, you made the conscious choice to breed those animals and to produce that animal that's now for sale. If that animal doesn't sell, you have to care for that animal. So make sure you attack all of this with that in mind, and you will truly be successful in achieving whatever your success there is out there to achieve. It's Will. Hopefully this got through to you on the Get Established series, episode 19. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We're giving you guys 100% of everything we got. So we really appreciate the engagement. As Will, Flawless Exotic Creations, and we out.